Hello, retail traders. This is a post review of NVDA, one of the stocks that I went over on the weekend watch list. If you go back and watch it, I posted 5 stocks to watch that I'm going to be watching on last week's pullback. And one of them was attractive. All of them are attractive. Oxy's on there, Netflix. There's a couple others. You can go back and watch that video after you watch this one. But this is a sneaky snake trading strategy where we study chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And right now, we're going to be talking about NVDA. This is really hyped up with the fat cats. So it's going to definitely rebound. I mean, if you got in it today, I think you're going to be doing good by the end of the week at a good price. And I'll show you why here in the chart. But everybody's all really hyped up about this stock. They're up to 600, 650. Oops, spit on myself. Better wipe that off. That looked funny on my chin. But yeah, they're all into AI. So, I mean, this is a big one for them. And I think they're overpricing it. But we got the dip we needed. So let's look at the stock. Tell people not to get in a big hurry. And this is the trade that I called out today. And I'm going to talk about the trade that we took today and how easy it is to take this strategy. And I've traded with experienced traders and rookies. And I think the rookies pick it up faster than the ones that are very experienced in a way. But we'll see here. This is the snake, and this is the breakout, and this is the boom. And this is how you look at it. You got a snake. We got an inverse head and shoulders down here. We got a wedge, and then we got a double top resistance, and that would have been probably my first exit. I'd probably seen that double top and got right out of the trade, and that would be my scalp of the day, and I would take off. But we're going to erase everything, clear the set, and we'll show you how to draw this in. Just looks like an ordinary chart right now. If you pull it back and look at it, it don't look too good, you know. Don't look too good. And there's many of these here little trades that you can take in here, and I can show one after another after another after another on how to trade one single stock in a single day period. And something like this would be great on like a day like today. So we come in the gate, and I said, just be careful. Let's see if we can get a pullback first thing out of the gate. And that's what we got. We had a pullback. It did not hold this here bottom here, and I call that, you know, when I'm looking at a support level, I call that a double bottom, if that's what I'm looking at. That's the kind of support that I want to hold. See, that was my pre-market double bottom support right there when I come into trade, and we jumped right back down to it, popped up, and then we had the snake. So this is when the trade gets attractive. The trade starts to get attractive here, and I noticed just on this snake alone that we have an inverse head and shoulders. So I'm going to go up to my toolbox, and I'm going to draw a candlestick pattern from the top of this body of that candle right down there to this next body right here. Actually, I could probably just bring it right down here, move it over. There's my snake. That's the head. And then I've got the shoulders right here. So that's how I identify the snake. So I'm sitting here watching it go down, watching it go down. I've already got my lines laid out here. I've already got it started, so I know what to look for. When we hit the bottom down here, then all of a sudden we break out of the snake. I'm going, yeehaw! So I'm getting ready. I tell everybody, okay, we just broke out of the snake. Let's wait for the pullback, and we'll get in this trade, and I'll show you what I see on this here trade. And they say, okay, we'll check it out. So what we got here is an inverse head and shoulders. So once we broke out of the box, it started to run up and hit the 51 EMA. And that's when I said, well, we found resistance. We hit the 51, let's wait for the pullback and try to get into this trade. So I drew a shoulder line on this inverse head and shoulders down here to right here, and that's my inverse head and shoulders right there. So then I start to look at the wedge. I see the wedge starting right here. So I want to draw in the wedge, or at least the top part of this here. And I want to run that all the way up to the top, to the right. And we're going to be using the body of the candle. So here's my snake. We've got the breakout. All I'm waiting now is for the pullback. And boom, there's the pullback. We hit the shoulder, then we had a new head and shoulders right here. So we got a two-headed snake. That's time to take the trade when it gets right down here. You can tell it's going to be positive by the upper higher lows of the candles. This happens all the time. I show this trade every day. Then you just take it. Once you're in the trade right in here, run it up to the double top and get out of the trade. As simple as that. Snake, breakout, pull back, boom. And that's how we took it. And then called it out a little bit later. We had another snake right here. So we had a snake, breakout, pull back, boom. And I talked about this trade. So that's trade number 2 now on the dip. We got out at the double top. Let's go ahead and type that in here. Exit the double top. And then we pull back. So we created a new snake right here. So I'm going to magnify this up. This is all history. Okay? This is all history, but I'm going to extend these extension lines all the way to the right. But this is all history right now. We got a brand new snake we're going to be working on. So we're going to pull this up. And we're going to draw out our snake. We're going to clean this whole thing up again. Let's just clean it up. I'm going to keep drawing these snakes in. So we exited the double top. Now we've recognized a new snake. So I tell the room, I said, everything's in threes. Triple bottom, triple top, however you want to call it. But I have to use the body of the candle. It has to be on the body of the candle. So I told the room, we got another bull flag here. And the same thing's going to happen. We're going to have snake, breakout, pull back, boom. So we created a head and shoulders right here, an inverse head and shoulders. So we've got the snake, it starts to break out. So now you know that the trade is active. We have a triple top, 1, 2, and 3. How'd it go? Well, 1, 2, and 3. You got triple bottom, 1, 2 with the body of the candle. And then this one right here, 3. So the trade is most active when you're on the third support, the third dot. If that happens on the third dot, then you're very bullish still. And that's exactly what happened. 1, 2, triple top, boom, pull back. So we got an inverse head and shoulders. We'll just draw that line straight across. All the way straight across. Came back and hit right there. So here's your head. So we got the snake, breakout, pull back to the shoulder line. This is a shoulder right here. Always want to keep that shoulder line in mind. So we got snake, breakout, time to take the trade right here on the pullback. Then it retests, then you have the big squeeze. And this is the trade we called out today. So when do you know when to get out of the trade, Jim? Well, you go back in history here and you look for some kind of resistance level. And here's your resistance right here. You have your head and shoulders, and you got your yin-yang right here. A little pullback right here. So somewhere in this area right in here is where you want to exit the trade. And we're going to draw a price line right there. That way you get that. That's a perfect support level right there. You got this inverse head and shoulders. You got a head and shoulders right there. Shoulder line, shoulder line. and we came close to hitting that, so I would have probably got out of that trade today. Depends on the tape and everything else. So that's trade number 2. We've exited the trade. Now, oh God, here we got another one. Another snake. Snake, breakout, pull back, boom. Snake, and then we had the knife. You can see the descending pattern, the lower lows. So you knew this thing was going to dip. Right back to the shoulder line. There's another head and shoulders right there. Another shoulder line, and another head and shoulders right there. And there's your shoulder line. So this is a pretty sturdy thing right there. So take it on the way down. Every one of these here things. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 trades just on the video alone. Now this is why I like this trade to begin with. And we go to the daily. And this is how I called it out on the daily. If you go back to the time frame, we're going to erase all this. So kind of goes up and like that. So this previous high is going to be your support level. We're going to draw that price line in right there. That's your solid support. Your first solid support right there. So what I told in the video in the room, I said we could either hold that support, run up, and try to break the 9. This was on this here candle right here. I said we're on the 21. We can easily come back and touch the 21. We did dip a little bit. And then we closed right on top of the 9. Now you can go back and watch that video that I did on Sunday, and I said the exact same thing. If we break the 9 on the daily, we'll become very bullish, and we'll get it up here to this here. This is the head, and this is the shoulder line right here. Right there, 465.88, and there's the head. That or she'll come back down, find, if she can, she'll hold that 437.87. And that'll keep it bullish. That'll keep it above the 21. Now, if it doesn't hold the 21 SMA, it can easily drop down to these other 2 supports, 425.55 and 406.14. And that's it. We break the 9. We find resistance by the end of the week at 465.88. If we don't break the 9, we could easily come back and we hold the 21 SMA, we're fine. If not, we'll definitely pull back to 425.55 and a strong buy at 406.14. Not even thinking it can go lower than that, but it's getting pumped. You know, you can't beat these fat cats. They got money in this trade. So yeah, that's NVDA. I wish everybody a great day tomorrow. Yabba dabba doo. Retail traders. Hit that like and subscribe.